every year I'll go up to Colorado and I'll just spend time. It's my study time is what I call it, and just a kind of a study break. And I go up in the mountains and stay in a little small cabin. And it's so far up that I don't get cell phone. I don't even get radio up there. You know, NPR is the only thing I can get, and that'll depress you real quick. But I go up high in the mountains, and I don't even get cell phone coverage. I don't get, there's not televisions or anything. Thank the Lord there is a restroom. But it's just, I'm kind of up remote. In fact, go to this next picture here. This is actually, I'm laying in my bed. Those are my feet that you see down here on the bottom. But I'm actually laying in bed, and this is the view I have every morning when I get up. Go to the next slide there. It's just a huge mountain. That's where I ate, and that was everything right there. That's the kitchen table. Go to the next one. Keep going. And this is a look out the picture window there, just in front of the table, looking out a little bit different look there. Keep going. It's my time to go up and just spend time just with the Lord. I take books and I like to study, and my plan is to just read and just spend time with the Lord. It's just a wonderful time. The night I was up there, I was going to leave early in the morning before the sun came up. I'm always anxious to get home. And so I was sitting there reading. I had just finished eating, and the sun was starting to go down. And I just thought, you know what? In just a few minutes, the sun's going to go down, and I'm not going to be able to see a thing. And I will be out of the mountains in the morning before the sun comes up. And so this will be my last chance to just enjoy what it looks like. And at the time, there were clouds, and it was kind of storming up a little bit. There was snow coming in that night. And so I put my stuff down, and I just started walking up this valley and started spending time just talking with the Lord and looking around and just thinking, I want to just take all of this in, because in just a few minutes, the sun's going to go down, light is going to be gone, and I'm not going to be able to see anything. And in this valley where I was staying, I wish I had the pointer, but I'll just show you. I was staying kind of up in, you see this road that kind of goes up over here on this side. I was staying right up in that area. And there had been, in the spring, there had been a horrible fire that had completely burnt a lot of that area. In fact, if you'll notice this mountain over here on the right, it's black. But that mountain actually should be the same color as the other mountain, with the aspen trees yellow and glowing beautiful. But because of the fire, it charred that whole mountain. And you can see it went all the way over to this mountain over here, and you can see just a little bit of aspens down there where it stopped. When it got to the prairie, obviously it stopped because it had no more fuel to burn. But this was typically a beautiful scene, but it had been charred over there on that side. And I just began to walk and just talk to the Lord. And the sun was kind of going down back over the backside of this mountain, and I was looking at that mountain, and it was so dark, and it was just evil almost. You could see up on the mountain there was rain or snow or something coming down, and it would kind of come down, and it would sweep down the mountain, and it just gave an eerie look and eerie feeling to it. The sun began to go down behind the cloud and back of that mountain, and the thought just occurred to me as I was standing there and spending time and praying with the Lord. I knew that in just a few minutes the sun was going to be going down, and darkness would fill that whole valley, and we could see nothing. And maybe it was the enemy, or I don't know, but I just began to feel like my life was like that. My life was indicative of that. I felt darkness. I spend the whole time with the Lord, but I don't really, it's like sometimes when I spend time with the Lord, I just don't think I really come out hearing anything from God. And I was walking around and saying, God, I don't want my life to be like this. I don't want my life to be that dark mountain that's been charred and burned. I don't want the sun to go down over my life. I still have things I want to accomplish. I still have dreams that you've put inside of me that I can't get out of. I've asked the Lord to take my dreams away. I've asked the Lord to take away dreams that I have, that He's put within my heart, because I can't carry them because I don't see anything coming of them. And as I was just standing there watching the sun go down and it getting darker and darker and darker, I felt like that was me in my life that was getting darker and darker and darker. As the sun began to go down over that, down through the clouds, all of a sudden it felt lighter, and I looked up at the clouds. Go to the next one. And all of a sudden, there was a hole that broke through that cloud right at the top of the mountain. And as the sun was going down, it was the craziest thing because there was some rain or some mist, and through that sun, it was almost as if there was a beam, a shaft of light that was coming down straight on this mountain. I realized this is so dark. I was using my phone to take all this, and it was so dark, but the light was shining down upon that mountain. And I felt the Lord say to me, I'm not finished with you yet. I'm not finished with you yet. And in the same way that I can pierce light out of darkness upon the mountains that have been charred and dark and black, I can do the same for you. And as I sit there and watched it, I watched that light become stronger and stronger. And then I watched that beam of light that was in that cloud directly in front of me. I watched the shadow of that light begin to come down that mountain. And it started coming across that valley towards where I was at. And I put my hands up in the air. I began to cry. And I said, Lord, let that light shine on me. Let the light of your renewed presence, as you're restoring that mountain, let it shine upon me. Go to the next slide. And as I did, that light came directly all the way across that valley, through that mountain, all the way across to where I was, and lit the whole area up. And now, instead of it becoming dark, and instead of that mountain being dark and everything else being dark, now the light broke through that mountain into my life. And I felt the Lord saying to me, I'm not finished with you yet. I'm not finished with your ministry. I'm not finished with your dreams and with your hopes. I don't know where God's taking us, or I don't know where God's leading us, but I knew in my heart that that was the message that God was speaking to me. I can take this mountain. There's still mountains for us to climb. There's still things for us to do. God hasn't forsaken us. He hasn't forgotten us. And let me tell you, in your life, God has not forgotten you. He has not forsaken you. It may be a dark time in your life. It may seem like that no one knows and no one cares what you're going through. It may seem like your prayers are not getting through and that the light of God's presence is going down and fading away on your life. But just like for me, He can break through the clouds in your life and bring hope and bring joy to you. We have to come to the place in our lives that even though it's dark, we will say, as Caleb did, give me that mountain because I'm not done yet. Hallelujah.